Okay, hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Poly Unwrapped podcast. If you watched the previous episode or you listened to it, no, actually if they watched, they know that we are
the same day. It's just
same setup.
like we just stopped the camera and we started again.
Yeah. Being very candid over here. But okay, today we'll be talking about anxiousness. Okay, so we'll be unwrapping our anxiousness in today's episode. That pun from Hannah. She was the one who gave me this idea. Yeah, but in today's episode when we talk about anxiousness, it's more like it has to do with more of our daily emotions lah, the stresses, the fears, the worries that we might face on a daily basis. So I'm sure, you know, as humans, all of us go through this range of emotions. So we are here to talk about it and to see how we can properly manage anxiousness and stress and worry. So to start today's podcast, you know, what is causing us... Oh, why you smile? I haven't asked the question.
Because I already know that question. And I think you have my answer.
Okay, we love that. Hannah, so candid. Then, okay, so let me ask the question. So what is causing us anxiousness or stress in our daily lives this day? And Hannah, since you seem very excited.
Yes, I'm very excited to share about my anxiousness.
Okay.
No, I think I should share first because I feel like mine is not so... serious. I wouldn't say not so serious, like it's a bit funny.
Okay.
Yeah. So recently I realized that I'm quite anxious to take like a Grab.
What?
Because there's like, I don't know, I feel quite anxious that I have to book it, right? And then there's a certain timing that they'll come. And then now 3 minutes later, like if you come down late or whatever, then they'll charge you extra. So it gives me a lot of anxiety that I have to meet that short gap. I don't know, like I think got once I can't remember, I think the guy like pressed earlier or something, then I was like coming down, then after that end up I didn't make it because I was grabbing things and all. Then I feel like it's so stressful lah to like rush and then get everything and then come down. Yeah, so that gives me a bit of anxiety.
But I can understand where you're coming from. Like,
Right.
I think some small things in our daily lives also can cause us anxiety, cause us anxiousness. I think for me is, I do feel anxious about stuff like that, but I think I have bigger things to worry over. I'm not saying that her Grab
I don't
is
have
not...
bigger things to worry about. I only have small things.
Please don't cancel me, guys. I don't mean it that
It's
way.
okay. I don't think it that way. So
Thank you. I am very anxious about school as a
relatable.
uni student. Yeah, so I think assignments make me like stresses me out quite a bit. And I think just recently I was writing this essay for a assignment that I had to submit, and I had the worst writer's block. I couldn't think of it's a story, so I had to write like a fictional story. I couldn't think of any good ideas to write about. Yeah, and I rewrote the draft like 4 to 5 times. Yeah, so it really sucked everything out of me. So I think that also gives me anxiety, not just like results, you know, like knowing that I won't do well, but also just not being able to work on the assignment, not having ideas, not knowing what to write, everything. And then when you have all your different like deadlines piling up, I'm sure the poly kids out there can understand, you know, that hell week that we always talk about. So that gives me it makes me stressed at least at this point in time.
Right.
yeah, actually it's quite true. Like when I have a deadline, it's all about the time thing for me. The deadline, right, then I realize that if I feel like I cannot meet, like let's say I have 1 hour to write something like for work, then I will get a bit of the anxious feeling because like what if in the 1 hour I still cannot come up with anything?
So you get anxious even before you start writing?
Sometimes when there is a very, like when I feel that I can't meet the time, let's say finish it before lunch, then I'm like, then I eat at 6 p.m. Right. Yeah, so that anxious feeling of like what you say, like maybe about the work, like doing it lor.
Right.
Yeah, like not being able, what if I cannot come up with anything? Yeah.
What about you, Charity?
So for me, I do experience anxiousness the way Hannah does. Like for me, that would be like going to the gym. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Same
Yeah.
also.
Then the gym that I sign up for, right, the class damn early. It's like 7, so I have to wake up at 6, which like I'm not a morning person. So it makes me really anxious having to like wake up. So like even if I'm in bed at like 11 trying to go to sleep, I cannot sleep. Like I would not be able to sleep until like 3, and then I will wake up at like 5, and then I'll wake up another time at like 6, and then I'll Yeah, so like going to the gym gives me anxiety also.
So you're anxious that you cannot reach there on time?
Yes.
Ooh, what's the penalty if you cannot reach on time?
Okay, so last time, right, they used to have burpees, which I feel like damn bad because like
it's real like
I'm not the one doing burpee yet. Everyone else
oh
doing
my
burpee
god,
yet.
it's like some army like camp.
One for all for one.
Yeah, so I think gym does give me anxiety, and also like Odelia also do experience things like that, like having assignments to complete, right, and having like deadlines to meet, and like things that I have to do. So during the day I have a lot of things to do, and like when it piles up, right, it becomes like one big like ball of two things that you have to do, and then they get jumbled inside, and then it just makes me really overwhelmed.
Like the messiness of
Yeah.
like everything that is piling up and coming together at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I relate.
Yeah. So I do feel that a lot. And also one more thing I do feel anxious about, like is about having no control over the things that I wanted, or like, okay, so I kind of like help my dad run his business, and like there are a lot of like external factors that you cannot control. I think even as poly students, you guys feel it as well, you know, with project mates that you cannot choose, right? Or like assignments you are clearly not very good at, right? It doesn't bring out the best in you, that kind of thing. Or like IS modules. Yeah.
What are IS modules?
You know
I
those
think
modules that
I think
make
they
you
change
take-
already.
Oh, it's not
Yeah,
called
I
IS.
don't know, is it
Sorry,
still
I
IS?
dinosaur.
Like the interdisciplinary kind, is it?
Yes.
Not your major, not your diploma.
main.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even in your diploma, I believe some of the
Yeah.
mods, you're like, it's just not your strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I realized that in poly, right, there were some modules that gave me so much anxiety. Like legit, I was dreading school on those days with the module, and I would tell my friend I really cannot do it. Then and the funny thing, you know what module that was?
What?
It was radio production.
Oh my gosh, and here we are.
And here we are
recording a podcast.
yeah, wow, gross. No, but it was I think it's a lot about being upfront, like, you know, like some modules make you like talk a lot
Yes.
and be in front of people.
Yeah.
So radio was one, and then there was one about speech communication with the teacher. Okay, if she sees this, yeah, she gives a lot of anxiety. Yeah, so but I realized that actually school can be very, very like overwhelming, like with modules that you know you cannot, or you feel like you cannot do well, and then you have to still like do it, and then having to be in class, be present, be participating, and doing like all the assignments.
Yeah. So I have that, and I also feel like I want things to be perfect, or like I want things to go a certain way. Yeah. So that and when it doesn't, that gives me that I feel anxious about it not going the way I want it to. Yeah.
I guess like there are many things that give us anxiety in a sense, either stress us, overwhelm us, or like make us have that like nervous feeling towards it. So like, how do you guys manage it well? You know, like how do you deal with it? I mean, we'll sure face it, right, in school or at work and whatever.
Yep.
Manage it well. I won't say I manage it well.
Okay, change the question. Manage it. To stop.
So I manage it.
How do you deal with it?
Yeah, I deal with it.
How do you deal with it?
I just let it hit me in my face and then I get run over by it. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, there are days where I feel like that way. I just feel that everything's out of control, like, you know,
Yep.
and that gives me even more, it makes me even more stressed and anxious because like I'm already stressed and then everything's out of my control. Everything is like so overwhelming, and then that makes me feel like even worse. But I think I've tried this thing new this year, which is to learn to only list the top 3 agenda for the day, or top 3 things that I have to complete on my to-do list.
Right.
Like in the past, I used to just write down everything that I had to do, and then when I look at the list, I'm just like, I don't want to do anything. Yeah. So I think breaking it down into more bite-sized pieces helps me to just focus on it, because when it's a whole list of things, right, and then I start working on it, like in my mind, I'm being very, very worried about the other stuff, which like it distracts me. I can't focus properly. So I think writing the top 3 things, then I'm just like, okay, I can get these 3 things done by, you know, the end of the day, and it also motivates me, makes me feel better, like I can cope with everything that's happening. That's one thing that I've learned this year. Another thing that I'm learning is also to engage in other activities. Although I think sometimes like now is my submission period in school. Wait, no, when the video goes out, then it's over. But okay, anyway, now is my submission period, so I am quite overwhelmed and stressed with school work. But in the past, I would just be sort of like grinding on and just like completing one assignment after the next one after the next. But this time I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to take a break and do something else. So yesterday I actually went to catch a play.
Wow.
What play?
Frozen. Frozen is going on.
Yeah, there's a theatre going on.
Musical, right? No.
I don't want to build a snowman. It was a play in school about a future, like this, the protagonist like predicting her future and stuff like that. Yeah, so I think within that 1 hour of that play, because I was so focused on the story and whatever that was going on, it helped me take my mind off the assignments that is waiting for me, or just being anxious. And I think a lot of the times my anxiety also comes from the fact that like, it seems like I have so much work to do. Sometimes I feel that it's quite irrational or it's quite unfounded. And when I sit myself down there, I realize that actually my mind is just wandering lah. So I think doing something else like that, or sometimes running, takes my mind off my worry and my stresses lah.
Right. Yes. I think for me, I can add on to the to-do list. So I used to, not only does the gym stress me out, right? So like I have a lot of things to do, like assignments that I have to complete also.
Wait, sorry, can I cut? Maybe you want to explain why you have assignments but you are working also at the same time.
Okay, so I am taking a CET diploma. Yeah, continuous education training. I can't remember what it stands for. But yeah, it's another diploma on top of the diploma and degree that I already have. Yeah. So and I'm also working full time lah. So I do have assignments and I do have like tasks to complete at work. Yeah, and it used to really overwhelm me, and I cannot sleep at night because like these things will just keep popping up in my mind, living rent-free in my head, and then I just cannot go to sleep, because after I'm done thinking about this, I'll think about B, and then I'll think about C, and then A pops up again. Yeah, so what I do, I realize a to-do list really, really helps, because even when I'm in bed, I'll just like pull or a pen and paper, or like my phone, and then when it comes up, I'll just write it down. Oh, tomorrow I have to do this. And then when it pops up again, I'll write it down. So I realized when I write it down, it's out of my mind. Yeah. They leave my mind, and then I get to sleep a little bit better. And then the next day, I don't feel as overwhelmed, because I have like this big monster task of things to do, but I actually have already written down what I have to do, and I can just go and start maybe with the easiest task, or maybe I can like just do, and when I tick off the things, right, I feel a bit more productive. Yeah, I feel better about myself, I feel a bit more confident, and I feel the anxiety is slowly going away. So for me, to-do list does help, especially when they keep like popping up in my head, like, you know, those ads. It's quite annoying. You know, so like I get
skip ad.
Pop-up block, right? Yeah, but like even when the list gets super like long, maybe you can try Odelia's way of like just doing just having the top 3. Yeah, that I think that is really helpful. Maybe I'll do that one day. Yeah, and then maybe the smaller things, right? I just don't do it anymore, lor. Like I just don't go to the gym.
Wait, so you're not going anymore?
Actually, I go a lot less. Like I realized that I don't feel so anxious actually when I don't like force myself to go for it. Yeah, and then I just go to a gym in the evening. I just go to gym in the evening rather than putting myself in that situation where I have to like feel so anxious, having to wake up and like might be late, and then like, you know, make people do burpees for me, and that makes me feel even worse. So I just complete, if it's not necessary. I mean, assignments and all these are really necessary. You have to do them, and you have to face them. But like for things like this, like I just don't. Yeah, like Hannah taking the MRT, right? Yeah.
Just don't take Grab. Even if I'm late, I'm not gonna take Grab.
Yeah.
No lah, I will take Grab. I took Grab here today. But it wasn't anxiety inducing. Yeah.
That's great. That's good to know.
Yeah, but I guess like sometimes maybe when in the anxiety, right, we feel that there's only maybe like one way or like one option. Like maybe for you it'd be like, oh, I have to go to this gym and I have to do it in the morning. But actually when you were saying how like you can choose not to put yourself in it, then yeah, it's about you like realizing that actually I can go another gym, I can go at night, I can like maybe work out elsewhere.
Yeah.
And like maybe I don't need to like face this anxiety every time lah.
Yeah.
But I think that sometimes it's also like not about running away from it. I mean, I think must be clear like, am I running away? Am I like avoiding it?
Right.
But like in your case, it's about, there are other options.
Yeah.
It's not about I'm avoiding it or I am like chucking it aside.
Right.
Yeah, but it's really true that you don't have to maybe find another gym. What's this
Yeah.
gym? No, cannot say.
say.
But like warn us if we are entering into danger zone.
Right. Hey, actually, I can invite you. Actually, I'm still a membership. I'm still paying.
Invite, don't want, later I'm late.
Then charity will do puppies for you.
But it's interesting. It's interesting business. Like
Yeah, actually, so now they don't do it. I think they realize that it makes people anxious or
and
like
leave, right? And
yeah,
like not come,
and people don't feel good about like having to put
right?
other people.
They don't feel good about working out or
Yeah.
like going to the gym, right?
Yeah, so they don't do it anymore. Yeah, but for the big monster of tasks that so it does like they come in waves, and sometimes like I think there are seasons where you just like exam season or like assignment season where it just comes and you can't obviously avoid it, or you can't change to make it suit your lifestyle a bit better that doesn't cause like so much anxiety. When I used to feel a lot of that, I used to be so much in it that I just want everything to stop. I want everything to like pause. And then I tell myself, I need a break. I need a vacation, and I need a long one, right? I need a whole weekend to myself. I need a whole 2 days leave, that kind of thing. But like I can never seem to find the time to have 2 days leave because I have like A, B, C, D, E, F, G to complete, right? Yeah. So what I learned is that I can, rather than having one big break, right, I would have tiny breaks, right? And in my everyday life, I can have a 15 minutes break after work to just go home, sit down, not in front of the TV, not with YouTube open, but really just sit down and be quiet and be at peace, be calm and calm down, and just breathe. Yeah, I think 10 to 15 minutes of that would help, and having it a bit more consistently spread out throughout the days, rather than having that one big chunk of break when it's not necessarily doable, for maybe as students when you're having your exams. You can't just take one whole day away from work, right? Yeah, so it's a little bit like Odelia's going for a play. Yeah, just not mindlessly scrolling through YouTube and TikTok, Yeah, I think choosing that and having like a short break, really a pause, a break really does help me with coming down from feeling overwhelmed, and worrying. Yeah.
That's actually very helpful. Because I know I do a lot of mindless scrolling.
Oh,
even
same.
with the free time that I have.
Yeah.
I find it really hard to be like quiet or like at peace.
Right.
Just don't do anything. Yeah, I find it really very difficult. But it's a good suggestion.
Yeah.
I should try to really put aside like everything and just like breathe or like relax.
Right, and just sit down. Yeah, I think if you have to get out of your house to do it, just maybe get out, because like my house is the TV is usually always on when I'm home, and there are a lot of people, so you don't really have space like for yourself. So maybe if you need space, maybe you just go down to the park, or like sit at the corridor. Don't stay at the staircase. What goes? Sit at the corridor or something.
Deck, playground. The playground got kids. They'll be noisy.
Yeah.
But quiet place outside.
Yeah.
Does help.
So I think any more tips that you want to share?
Go to sleep.
Right. Yeah.
If you can fall asleep. If you
Yeah.
can. But I think like what I found helpful was like I used to listen to this like music. It's instrumental. This person playing a piano, but I think he's so talented, right? That he can somehow his music puts you at ease. I think it's the way he's very, very gifted, I feel. So the way that he plays it is very calming. So sometimes I like to put it like to sleep lah. So I mean I on it and then I set a timer and then I go to sleep. But the funny thing is I fall asleep instantly one. So I don't know why I turn it on. It's just for the
vibes.
feels. Yeah, just like I usually when I hit my head hit the bed, I'll just like maybe 1 minute or a few minutes then I'll sleep already.
Wow.
So I don't think I even hear the thing playing, but I think subconsciously maybe like my ear hear it and then my brain is like oh, peaceful sleep. Yeah.
You're trained to like, yeah. I think with all my experience trying to cope with anxiety or like dealing with my worries and my fears and being overwhelmed, right? I think anxiety is not all a bad thing, right? It helps us with like meeting deadlines. And honestly, maybe we feel it because like the things that we are doing or the things that cause us anxiety would are the things that are important to us. Yeah.
Totally agree. Yeah. So I think it's about establishing a healthy relationship with anxiousness as like counterintuitive this might sound. Yeah, instead of just like I think what Hannah say, just running away from it, and chucking it away. So I think if you need help, and I mean not saying you need help, but if you identify, with what we shared about today and you want someone to talk to or you just want someone to journey with, I mean we are always here. Polypassel, there's a Telegram board that you can chat with us seniors because after all we have been there, we have done that, and we probably will be able to also resonate with some of the challenges or stresses in your life that you're facing lah. Yeah. So with that, I think it brings us to the end of our episode today. Thank you so much for staying by our side and listening to us talk about what makes us anxious. I hope that that you're not alone and like silly things like taking the Grab, going to the gym, also stresses out. Stresses us out because we are only human. So stay tuned to the next episode and then we'll catch you then.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
See ya. Okay.
Yay.